So welcome, John, to business class, and I'll let you go through a bit of your history and all this sort of stuff. But we're looking forward to finding out some tips from your little book of business.
I had the normal sort of corporate career from the time I left school, although I spent 4 years as the lead singer of a rock band. And that gave me incredible ear problems, and I have them to this day, but it was worth it. Believe you me, it was a great 4 years. I then started working for a shopping centre company called Westfield, which is was one of the largest in the world, and spent 4 years with them in Brisbane and Melbourne, and then spent a few years in real estate. And then in the 80s, I got headhunted by the Lend-Lease Corporation. I tell you that because it was fantastic experience to be with those big companies. You just learn so much about what to do and, believe you me, what not to do. In 1984, I started my own retail leasing consultancy because that's what I'd been doing. And I only stopped that about 10 years ago. In 1993, so go up about 10 years, we decided to move from Brisbane to the Sunshine Coast in Queensland. And we bought this crappy old sunglass store called Brighto Sunglasses at Mooloolaba. And we were able to double its turnover, not by doing anything spectacular, by the way, but just by turning up and putting some stock in the shop. And we did that in about 8 months. And then we built another two, one at Kawara and one at Caloundra. And if you scrunch them all together, put those three shops, and believe you me, they were just holes in the wall, little 30 square meter shops. Between the three, we were turning over $1 million or over $1 million a year in sunglasses, which is $10,000 a square meter, which is pretty spectacular in retail terms. And we did that because we followed the system, which was the franchise system. This was a franchise. There were about 120 odd retail franchises of Brightos in the time in Australia and New Zealand. But in the late 90s, I saw the internet coming, and I'd been on the internet since 1994. And I saw the internet coming, and I thought, whoa, this is trouble for retail. This really is. And so we sold the shops, and we got out of retail. I'm awfully glad I did. Believe you me, in the 90s, retail was fantastic. But now it's just, it's disaster. It's a crash and burn. Speaking of crashed and burned, I got seduced by the internet. Having said that it was going to kill retail, I thought, well, I'll jump on board. And I started 2 IT businesses. And that was a really interesting situation. But believe you me, I didn't have the mindset or the skill set to make it work. And we got out. And I've been in my current business for nearly 20 years. And it's something that I never thought I'd be in. And I wasn't a big fan of the model when I first joined or first looked at it. But I got to realize that when you're in business, if you're in a business that is in a competitive situation, you're butting heads with either some of the big boys or a lot of the people who are your peers. Just a little bit about the little book of business. I didn't set out to write a book about business. I started writing articles on LinkedIn. And after about 24 of them, I looked at them and I thought, you know, if I scrunched those all up into a book, that might help a lot of people who are starting a business. So that's what I did. I put them all together and called it the Little Book of Business. And it's been really a big, well, in my mind, a big success because a whole stack of people have learned a lot about business just by reading that book. Okay, Brett, if we can go to the next slide. I want to talk to you about the 3 secrets of business success. And I want to talk to you about, this is the very basic that you need to understand from day one. And I got to tell you, I didn't understand this when I started in business, but I got to learn it through the hard way. And this is the true purpose of a business. Now, you ask 100 people in business, what's the true purpose of business? And over 90% of them will tell you to make money. And you know what? They're wrong. Now, this sounds counterintuitive, I know, but bear with me here, all right? The question does have a definitive answer. The true purpose of a business is to help people solve their problems. Now, out of that true purpose comes money, employment, satisfaction, fulfillment, fun, well, we hope. personal development, professional development, fun. Oh, did I mention that already? Investment and lots of other benefits. If you help a few people solve their problems, you'll make some money. If you help thousands of people solve their problems, you'll make a lot of money. If you help millions of people, well, you know how it goes. If you go after the money, you might make some temporarily, but long term. People will do business with you if they know, like, and trust you. If they know, like, and trust you. They will use your services and buy your products if they know, like, and trust you. Now, the only way to get people to know, like, and trust you is to care enough about them to help them solve their problems. They can smell someone who wants their money a mile away. And instead of engaging with you, they will avoid you. Now, when you take this philosophy into your business, watch your customers and your clients alter the way they engage with you and observe how they do more business with you. They buy more of your products and they buy more, or they use more of your services. Now, for some people watching this, it's the way they approach business. They just haven't put it into words. For others, this might be an epiphany, and it might change the way that they look at business. So understand the true purpose of a business. The true purpose of a business is to help people solve their problems. Okay, the next thing I want to talk to you about is the second principle or secret of business. Business is simple. Just find out what people want and show them how to get it. There you go. It's all done and dusted. And you go, whoa, hang on a second. If it was that easy, everyone would be a success. I didn't say it was easy. I said it was simple. Now, there are two elements to this simple formula. The first element is find out what people want. Now, there's a huge difference between what people want and what people need, but we're going to go into that in a minute, okay? Let's just say for the moment that the want is better. Now that you've established the want, whether it be a product or service, you can work out how to show them how to get it. Now, you could use any number of distribution models. The major models are retail, online with delivery or online with download, direct sales, which is kind of party plan, or television selling, etc., which they do on the network channels, on the home shopping channels. There's network marketing, or a combination of some or all of these models. Now, believe you me, getting it to the people is easier than finding out what they want. But one of the secrets to making money in business is to be aware of and use trends. Now, there are fads and there are trends. Trends are better because they last longer and usually have a broader appeal. Now, there are some differentiations that need to be created here. You'll want to pick a trend that is growing, not declining, okay? And preferably one in which the growth is explosive. Now, most of the bigger trends tend to be driven by demographics. For instance, a major trend for the baby boomers is anti-aging and wellness, which is the business that I'm in. But the boomers are also responsible for huge increases in the travel industry, online sales, mobile homes, superannuation, healthcare, and many more. Gen X, Gen Y, and the millennials are also driving their own trends. So which one do you go for? Well, a very wise man, a guy called Dale Beaumont, once said, if you own a restaurant, you'll want a hungry market with cash. In other words, make sure that when you pick or create a product or service, there is a hungry market. In other words, they want what you have and they have the money to purchase the product or service. Okay, so that's number two. You keep it simple. Find out what people want, show them how to get it. Very simple. Okay. The third one is the greatest trap in business. And this is, and believe you me, it cost a fortune for me to learn this business. And this is the difference between needs and wants. Now, from a philosophical point of view, there are two types of business markets. There are people who market products and services that people need, and there are people who market products and services that people want. Which one do you go for? Well, there'll be those who say both, and you could be right, but if you had to choose one, which one would you go for? Again, there is a definitive answer to this question, and that is if you want to be efficient, effective, and highly profitable. And I'm sure that's what you really want to happen in your business. Now, this is going to polarize a lot of people in the needs market, so be it. The path to choose is to market to those who want the product or service. They want the product or service. Don't need it, they want it. Why? Well, to put it simply, those who need something, a product or a service, have yet to make a decision to buy. Those who want something have already made a decision to buy. They're just looking for a seller, the right seller. So why would you choose the path of educating, convincing, or selling to someone who may or may not decide to buy? Why not just find out what people want and make that your business? Now, if you can combine that want with a huge trend, then the process becomes even easier and more profitable because there's momentum coming from the trend. Look, there's a lot of things that we need to do but don't want to, okay? We need to go to the dentist every 6 months and have a checkup. Do we want to? No. We need to get up at 4:30 in the morning and go for a run to keep the tummy down and keep the flab off. Do we want to? No. We need to pay more tax. Do we want to? No. When you want it, you've decided. When you need it, you've got to be convinced that you want it. Why not just go for the wants? This is the secret, all right? So best to overlay this over your business and find more of the wants and ditch the needs.